Hi there. Let's talk about Alan Wake. Alan Wake is a new action adventure by Remedy, and Remedy is responsible for the, I think, great Max Payne series. Alan Wake is an action adventure, and it's about Alan Wake, who is a writer, but he hasn't written a book in years. So he goes with his wife on vacation to Bright Falls, and what happens basically is he gets into this nightmare, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's the story is really weird, but I think the atmosphere is really eerie and really strange and all that, kind of like a horror movie, and it works pretty well. There are some parts in the game that you will jump out of your seat, and it's I love the narrative. The story is basically cut into pieces or episodes, and after every episode there's a little recap of what happened in the previous one, so that's really a nice touch. Bad thing about this game is actually Alan Wake himself. Alan Wake is just not an interesting character. Now, the fact that this game has been in development for years, I don't understand why Remedy couldn't come up with a more interesting character. Now, Alan Wake is just basically an ass. Right from the beginning, he's on this boat with his wife, and somebody comes up to him and recognizes him, wants to talk to him, and he just doesn't want to talk to this dude. So, once he and his wife are in this cottage, they have a fight, and he runs out of the house and says he wants to think things over. I mean, what's that about? If I'm going to spend 6-7 hours with a character, make him interesting. I enjoyed Max Payne because Max Payne was a badass. He was on medication. He was totally on the edge. On the verge of a breakdown, and he was just cool, completely film noir. And so Alan Wake kind of disappoints in the thing, the character and some of the stuff. But the graphics, I must say, look very nice, though pretty dark, because of the fact that this is kind of a horror game. So there aren't many colors. It's all kind of foggy and stuff. But I do think that the character models look really bad. Again, this game has been developed for years, and it's just frustrating to see that the character models are just that ugly, and like robotic and all that. The game itself is pretty linear. You basically travel from one place to the next, picking up ammo and weapons along the way, and shooting some weird and dark creatures and entities. And the shooting is decent, but you basically use your flashlight to blind the enemies and then shoot them with your gun, or flare gun or rifle. And the effects are nice, but I think the shooting was better in Max Payne as well. Now, I know that Max Payne was a different kind of game, more action packed and all that, but I like my games to be fast moving. I don't, and Alan Wake is kind of slow moving, but of course I understand that because it's part of the, it's a little bit between Resident Evil 4 and 5, the slow pace, but it's a little faster than that, but it's not really my thing, I think. But still, the good story, the atmosphere, it makes up for that, I think. The audio is brilliant, adds to the atmosphere. What else is there? Well, it's pretty short, and that has probably to do with the fact that they're going to release some extra episodes as downloadable content, and I don't like downloadable content, but I guess that's just me. So you have a decent game. I don't think, all in all, it lives up to the hype, and my expectations were a lot higher, and they're not met. Years and years later, this game is decent I'm going to give this game barely a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching.